We are talking today about what we believe is one of the greatest lessons for humanity. Yanni and I were having a conversation about this. Climate change is happening. People's health is in an all-time state of, badness. And we want to talk about what we think can be done in order to fix things.
We are the gym that teaches people how to move instead of just exercise, because we believe that health is about performance, not just body image.
Hey everyone, in case we haven't met, my name's Rad Burmeister. I'm joined today by my brother Yanni Burmeister. We're the co-founders of Unity Gym and co-creators of the UMS, the Unified Movement System, where we turn driven people into superhumans. If you want to know how we do that, you can grab one of our free flexibility blueprints, strength blueprint, or nutrition blueprint. And it's going to teach you how we've created a program that has a balance between strength and flexibility. It's very unique. And today we're here. Also, if you haven't done so already, come and join the private Facebook group called the UMS Movement Mastermind, where we go live here daily and answer your questions, and also release amazing deals on our programs, and also subscribe to our podcast if you haven't done that already. Today we're having a conversation because Yanni and I were talking on the weekend. We were discussing, what's gone on. This whole COVID-19 thing has created... There's been a lot of problems, but out of the it's this old phoenix story, right? Out of the ashes, the phoenix is born, and there's a lot of opportunities. The phoenix rises. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity that comes out of this. It's caused a lot of people to start thinking about how things are done. It's certainly caused businesses to think about the way that things are done, and we've certainly had a big think about the way we do things. And the thing that the theme for this show is that we want to try to bring more awareness to people focusing more inward, focusing on self-development rather than focusing outward on what they can acquire in their lives. That was your cue to jump in and say something.
Yeah, absolutely. I wrote about this last week in the Inner Circle Daily. And I shared a little story, which I think I may have shared on the podcast recording last week. But I think it was back in 2012. I was sitting at a bar. For those of you who live in Sydney or live in Australia, the Ivy Pool Bar. It's quite a nice bar in Sydney. Rare occasion, sipping a glass of red wine with a good friend of mine, Ben Pekolsky. At the time, he was training to compete at the Olympia, the bodybuilding competition, biggest bodybuilding competition in the world, if you don't know it. And we were chatting. I'd just come out of a really heavy breakup with a long-time girlfriend I've been with for 6 years. And, I was there outlining my strategy to replace her with a 10 out of 10, and all the things that I wanted in a woman, and that I had this, illustrious strategy to find my 10 out of 10 and convince her to be my girlfriend. And Ben sort of cut me off and said, "Brother, you're focusing on the wrong things." And I sort of was intrigued, and he said, if you want a 10 out of 10, just focus on yourself. Focus on making yourself a 10, and you won't have to look for her. She'll find you. And it really stuck. Like it was one of those really fleeting moments in a conversation that you normally would just brush off or overlook or not pay much attention to. But for some reason, that really stuck with me, and I got really busy designing my life around me being the best person I could possibly be. I went very internal, and really focused on leveling up. There was a lot of aspects of my life that could be improved. And about a year later, we opened Unity Gym. And about 4 or 5 months into running Unity Gym, the girl of my dreams walked in and applied for a job. And the rest is history. We're engaged now, and we've got 2 kids. And it's quite phenomenal how that all worked out. It really, really did. I stopped looking. I stopped looking externally for the answers to my problems and started 100% focusing internally. Mm-hmm. Reading books like Extreme Ownership and Think and Grow Rich and The Power of Habit all helped, but I went on a quest, and since that day, since 2012 till now, I've read stacks of books on personal development and growth. And then that's carried over into areas of my life where I really wanted to focus on like business and finance. But it is phenomenal how much the world around you changes when you get busy changing yourself.
I went through exactly the same experience. I wasn't, when you're a guy at least and you're in your 30s and you haven't met the love of your life and you're thinking about having a family, that does start to become quite a dominant thought in your mind. And I was the same. I didn't have the conversation with Ben, but something within me just said, if I wanted, because I'd met girls before that I was really like swept off my feet by, but they just didn't see me the same way. I wasn't on their radar. And it's a really, really upsetting experience. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. But I did the same thing. I made a massive shift on just saying I'm going to become the best person that I can be. And then when I met my wife, she's a massive 10 out of 10. And when I looked at her, I was just like, oh my God, look at this unbelievable woman. And I was on her radar because of what I'd done for myself. And she describes me in the same way. As somebody that really stood out to her, which is really, really cool. And, this conversation came from, and it's funny because I am actually listening to this book on the podcast. I'm holding up the power, no, what am I talking about? The Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So because this is the second book in our book club, we should actually put this at the front because that's the one that people should be reading right now. And I'm reading it again because I've read it, this would be about my third time reading it or fourth time, but I haven't read it for about 7 or 8 years. It's one of the first ones I read on this journey, maybe even longer, maybe over a decade. And it's interesting reading it again because a couple of reasons. I'm reading the original version, which was written in 1937, and it's really funny because he's always talking about newspapers and the way that newspaper advertising works, and he's talking about the big opportunities that are going to be in marketing with print writing over the next couple of decades. It's pretty funny, but it's funny because the principles there are really true. But the idea of bettering yourself, this book is about creating financial wealth, but it is also about aligning yourself and turning yourself into the person that creates the opportunity for whatever you want. So if anybody's reading that book in our book club, the reason why I'm saying this is because Yanni and I, the reason why this conversation came up is Yanni and I were talking about how we really believe that one of the biggest problems that people are facing is that there's too much focus on the external. There's too much focus on the bling, on acquiring material wealth, like big houses, big cars, everything. Yeah. And I can put my hand on my heart and say that has not been the pursuit of my life. And I am very, very happy with where that's gotten me, because we've had people come to us that are older than us that have all of the financial wealth in the world, but they're begging for health. They're begging for what we've got, and they're willing to pay top dollar for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a very unfulfilling thing. And everybody talks about this who's made it to the top or what they perceived to be success, and then realize that success is not associated with any materialistic thing at all. It's associated with happiness. Yep. And you can be super wealthy and have everything and still be miserable, and I'm not saying, I am a firm believer that being wealthy and happy is far better than being poor and broke and happy,
And we're firm believers that we were also talking about that financial wealth is absolutely a part of our quest, because there's a lot of there's people out there. We're talking about this example, Yanni, where people that have zero financial wealth, and they're ragging on the people that have wealth, saying that they're the problem in the world. But yet, look at what somebody like Bill Gates has the power to do, where he's donating hundreds of millions of dollars to the betterment of billions, to the betterment of humanity, or Elon Musk or something like that. Yeah. If you've got no money, what can you do except
Complain.
protest and complain and do Facebook posts,
Yeah,
you know.
That's right. Just quickly, we got a lot of people. We do record these podcasts live. We stream the behind the scenes recording of these podcasts live to our UMS Movement Mastermind group. And we got a lot of people saying, "Hey, where's the big table?" And you guys have got new furniture.
Oh, you just wait. Just you wait.
So I was busy over the weekend. I did probably between 14 and 15 hours of work on the furniture that's getting installed into this studio to finish it. It's going to be absolutely spectacular. There's going to be our 4 company brands on the wall behind us here as artwork presented. We're going to have a custom table. Richie's got a custom control. What do you call it? Like the master station, the control booth.
Now, before you all sit there thinking to yourself, why did Yanni do all this work? What was Rad and Richie doing? We were the foreman. So we somebody had to, direct him and make sure that he was doing it all right.
Yeah, they did come down for an hour and help me clean up last night at about 4 o'clock. So.
Yeah, but that big table is coming back this week, bigger and better than ever. It's sanded, polished, lacquered.
I like timber. I have it's been passed on to me by my stepfather, who is an amazing builder. And despite what I used to think as a child, he works incredibly well with anything. But a lot of the houses that we grew up in were built from timber. And I have a real love for natural timbers. So
it's out the back of the gym, Lee. That's where it is.
Long story short,
it's getting designed. Anyway, look, let's get back to this topic of conversation because it is a big one. If anybody is saying...
Just quickly also, I should say, because Rad and I are really, really doubling down on growing our podcast, the Sound of Movement podcast. So big shout out to everyone who's listening to the podcast. We do have about 4,000 people listening and it's growing rapidly. We want to... be doing these daily recordings for the podcast, but we want to show our UMS Movement Mastermind group the behind the scenes of that recording. And so if it feels like we're not acknowledging the camera as much, 2 things are about to happen. One is that we're expanding to 3 camera angles, so you will get facial shots of us. Could have gone into the gutter there.
Could have.
But... it's going to change a lot, and we're leveling up with all this new furniture and the new design of the studio. But the other thing is that yes, we are really, really trying to improve our podcast, our microphone behaviour, and all that sort of thing. So bear with us as we level up. I'm so stoked to have a lot of you guys as regulars on the show, tuning in every day to the live. We are still going to be answering all of your questions and things like that because they provide great opportunity for learning for the broader community. So get your questions in if you're tuning in on the UMS Movement Mastermind group. And we just wanted to let you know what we're doing here.
Yep. So, look, we have a big belief that, we get people that come in all the time to the gym. The amount of questions that we get online via email, via Facebook Messenger, within these groups is quite overwhelming. We never used to have, before we decided that we were going to go all in on social and on digital, we never used to get this kind of engagement, which is just awesome. But at the most basic ground roots level of the answer to every question is, you need to put more effort into yourself. And people talk about and I'm going to talk about a specific question that's come up here in the UMS Movement Mastermind that relates to the flash sale that's on for another 24 hours for the Mobility Masterclass, which is about what do I do? How do I get to the goals that I want and the results that I want? And one of the biggest things that Yanni and Richard and I do that a lot of other people don't do is that we heavily invest in ourselves, in the content that we consume, so books like this, the YouTube videos that we watch, what we do in our time off work, but also not just the workouts that we do, but the research and the planning and the preparation that we do into our workouts. And even though the UMS in itself is a very done-for-you program, everybody within our tribe wants a little bit more than the average person does. And if you didn't, you wouldn't be here. You'd be in a simpler online programming system. There's so many simpler ones out there that just spit something out and say, do exactly this. But there's a low level for personal development involved in that, because the real magic comes from not just doing the thing, but understanding the reasons as to why you do the thing. And once you start to understand what it is that you're doing, you can start to really customize it for yourself. And every body, I'm saying body as in human body, every body needs something a little bit different to the other one. We're all unique in our own way. There's certain things that are the same. We all need a balance between strength and flexibility. We all need to be fit, but we all need little things different in our programming. Like when Yanni, Richard, and I work out together, none of us do the same workout, but we all do the same UMS framework. So on Monday, we're all doing bent arm strength. On Tuesday, we're all doing squats, but none of us do exactly the same workout, ever.
Yeah.
It's always a little bit different.
But that's the beauty of the UMS program,
Yeah.
is that it is a formula, and this is the and I don't want to go too far down on this because I don't want to just sit here plugging our program, but this is the beauty of it. It's a formula. It's just a formula to show you where your weaknesses are that you need to work on, and then it helps you construct a program. It's the UMS online coaching program is about teaching you how to fish. It's not about giving you a blueprint or a one size fits all program. We do that with all of the other standalone masterclasses and stuff that are just meant to be bolt-ons, add-ons, additions to, because learning a specific skill, there is a pathway that works. And those masterclasses are constantly and forever evolving as we learn new stuff. But there is a path to learning how to do a handstand. There's a path to learning how to do a planche and learning how to do a muscle up and things like that. But to set a foundation, to build a strong, flexible, and athletic body, you need to constantly evaluate and get feedback, which is what the structural balance blueprint is all about, and the strength testing and the flexibility testing in there. And then you need to focus and double down on your the weak links in your chain, That's the beauty of having a personal trainer. And what we wanted to do when we created our online program and our gym, it's a group really environment, because people get better results training with a tribe. We wanted to still deliver the personal training touch to that. We wanted to personalize group training.
The level of results.
And that's our
service,
unique selling point, at Unity Gym.
Yep.
Now, I don't want to go deeper on that because it's not what this podcast is about. This podcast is about learning to understand that nothing in the world changes until you change yourself first.
Yep.
And there is a lot of I'm going to swear, there's a lot of shit fuckery going on out there. There's a lot of room for improvement on a societal level. But it doesn't help by screaming and shouting from the hill and protesting and doing this and doing that. You got to change yourself first. Yeah. Otherwise, you look like a hypocrite.
Yeah. And people talk the big game of talking about how, we have to dethrone the big companies that are ruining the world and plundering things, and we have to do all these things. But like, one of the greatest things that you can do is stop consumerism and focus more on self-development. Yeah. And consumerism in itself is something that will never be satisfied.
Except for our merch. We launched our merch today and you can buy that.
But you've got to think of what we're saying, what consumerism is. Consumerism is buying things for the sake of buying things, for the sake of having the next thing. Yeah. And it's been proven so time and time again that the new thing that you want, it will not make you happy. Yeah. There is a lot of research on when you get the Porsche, it'll make you happy for about a month. Yeah. And after that, you'll realize that has not filled the hole in your life that you wanted it to fill. Yep. But it is such an ambition for so many people. And I'll say it myself, I would like to drive a Porsche one day as well. But I've learned that it is not the thing that's going to make me the happiest. So, of course, family time with friends, inner reflection on yourself, but living in a body that you are proud of is one of the greatest gifts that you'll ever have. And if you don't go inward and focus on mindfulness, so learning how to be present and learning how to not always be living in the past and living in the future, being present in the moment, and living in a healthy body, creating a healthy body, you will always and forever feel that there is a void. Yeah. And you will search to fill that void by either numbing it with alcohol and drugs, or by consumerism, by trying to buy, that's what the majority of people are doing. And I want to visualize yourself. If you've got the 70-inch TV and the surround sound system and the amazing computer at home and the nice car and the apartment, but you're really overweight and out of shape, is that where you visualized yourself 20 years ago? Is that the image that you thought of happiness? Your body feels crap, you're on medication for your high cholesterol and your blood pressure? Or did you visualize yourself with good relationships, modest abode, modest living, but in a very, very healthy and happy body that was pain-free and capable of living the life that you want as you got older? Because that's certainly where I want to be and what I want. Yeah. And can I bring this in I want to read this question that Ken has asked that I think really relates to this.
Yep. And Lee Clements, we'll give you a good answer for that in just a sec. Okay. She's asked a great question. How can I briefly explain to other women that your workouts are so superior to others? Ooh, I like that.
Well, why don't we answer that real quick?
No, you go first. Okay. You go first.
Okay, so Ken Heng, it's his first post. He's just come into our online community and he said, "Hi, I just bought the Mobility Masterclass bundle. The next screen shows an additional offer for the UMS at-home workouts. I'm a bit afraid that I might be overwhelmed with too many workouts, especially if I purchase that. I don't know if there is yet another offer that comes afterwards. Should I just follow the online YouTube Monday to Friday workouts for now to build up my mobility? My strength is pretty good and I'm very active. I play tennis, along with the at-home gym workouts following your YouTube videos, plus extra dumbbell workouts for arms, shoulders, and chest. I can do 30 push-ups in a set. By the way, my goal is to open up my shoulders and be able to do handstands along with building more muscles. Many thanks." What I want to say to you, Ken, is something that we answer in a roundabout way for so many people every single week, which is, the first thing that I'm going to say is, my answer is not for me to throw more of our programs at you. We are really specific on, we want to maintain integrity, and I don't want to just say, yeah, buy the rest of our programs, buy this, buy that, because we've got a lot of programs, and they're all designed to help with individual issues. And then the UMS itself, the UMS online coaching program, is designed to be the all-encompassing program that has everything there. So the first thing that I want to say is, no, I don't think you should go and buy another program if you're overwhelmed. What you should do is focus on what you've already got and make something out of it. But that said, I've dabbled in a little bit of this and a little bit of that when I was younger, and I didn't know, I didn't have a program like our UMS program, and I never got great results. And the only time I ever got a good result was when, and this comes from martial arts. When I did martial arts, I used to look at something that I'd learned from somebody else, and I'd still keep practicing that. And then I'd try this that my current teacher was teaching me. My teacher used to say to me, he'd say, "Rad, how are you ever going to get good at what I'm teaching you if you don't do it? If you think that you can learn something from somebody else and apply it here and be better." And he said, the question you have to ask yourself is, do you think I'm a good teacher? And if you do what I say. And if you don't, go somewhere else and find another good teacher and do what they say. But whilst you're here taking half of what I say and half of what you think you know and putting it together, the result you get won't be the best. And so I would say to you, Ken, for starters, don't get overwhelmed. But for second, if you really want to get the most out of what we do, try putting aside all the other things, except your hobbies. Keep doing tennis and things like that. But the weightlifting that you said you do, and just do what we do for 6 months. See if it creates the results that over 120 people have written us a 5-star Google review for.
And there's nothing wrong with doing something. Go all in on that for a period of time. I mean, this is what Bruce Lee became famous for. And then take what you learn from that and use the important stuff. That's and right. Move on and create a hybrid version of that. You know, no one does anything original. None of our stuff is original. It's all been taken from what we've learnt over the last, I mean, between Rad, Richard and I, we've got an accumulated 55 years of our own physical training. You know, there's a lot of data there, and we've had a lot of time to put it together into a program format that we believe is the best, you know, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the best for you. So go all in, but always go all in on what you're doing. Don't half-ass anything. Give it time, and then take what you love from it and move on and learn from someone else. There's nothing wrong with that. All of the best masters have done that at some point, you know. I certainly did. Rad certainly did. I'm sure Richard has, you know. And so, Yeah, I would second that, you know, but just go all in on what you're doing. Don't, because how you do one thing is how you do all things, you know, and so you've got to go all in. You've got to go all in.
Yep. So, Yanni, you want to answer Lee's question? How can I briefly explain to other women that your workouts are so superior to others?
Absolutely.
Or do you want me to have a crack
No,
at it
I'll
first?
do it. I'll do it because we've worked extremely hard on this, and I'll give it to you in 3 sentences. It's Lee, isn't it?
Yeah, Lee. Yeah.
What we've come to find with all of our experience is that optimal performance requires a unification of strength, flexibility, and cardiovascular fitness. And you have to do it within the one workout because it needs to be efficient, okay? We transform driven people into superhumans by balancing the daily workout. We get it all done, unlike most other places that have a fitness class, a stretching or yoga class, a strength class like body pump or some shit.
Yep.
It's not efficient. You can't do it. And the more we go down the path that we're going down right now with the 21st century computers, internet, everything is about efficiency and lifestyle hacking now. And if you can't create efficiency, you lose the effectiveness of that thing, okay? That's with everything in life, and it's the unfortunate truth of the way we are now. So we, remember that second line, we transform driven people into superhumans by bringing it all together, and that's why it's called unification, the Unify Movement System, okay? Our program delivers superior results then by making the training format personalized for every individual, okay? So 3 things. Optimal performance. We know this outright. Anyone worth their weight in gold will say the same thing. Optimal performance requires unification of strength, flexibility, and cardio fitness, okay? So you need a workout that brings all that together. We transform driven people into superhumans by balancing the daily workout, by bringing those 3 components together into every workout. And then our program, what we do here at Unity Gym and on the UMS, delivers superior results than anyone else that's trying to do that because we make it personalized to the individual with our anatomical structural balance blueprint.
Yep.
Okay? So it's those 3 things. We know why we need to do it. We show you how we're doing it by balanced daily workouts. And then we make it personalized with our algorithm to assess, constantly get feedback, and then make it the next phase of the program perfect for you as an individual based on your weaknesses. I hope that makes sense.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, that's right.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. You know, thanks for the questions. We are done for today. It's the start of a great week, and it is peak week this week. So this is the week where we're really going for it in these workouts. We did an extra round of cardio today, and man, did I feel it. So we'll see you again tomorrow. Oh, it's leg day tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be fun, peak week. And have a great day, everyone. See you soon.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, consider subscribing to our channel and make sure you click the notification bell so you know when our weekly videos are uploaded. Now, the best thing for you to do if you want to stay connected with us and get free online coaching is to join our private Facebook group. It's called the UMS Movement Mastermind, and we go live daily where we answer our members' questions. It's very interactive because you can post questions while we're live and we interact with you on the show. You can also upload videos or pictures of yourself with any movements, any stretches, strength training movements, calisthenics, weightlifting, anything that you're struggling with, and we'll critique you, give you feedback, let you know how you can get better. It's a really valuable resource. It allows a lot of communication with us and also our senior tribe members. You'll get answers very, very quickly, and it's absolutely free. So jump on Facebook, search for UMS Movement Mastermind, and join now. Until next time, have a great day.